The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC-AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, Andy Brownell here with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Robin, good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
I see you brought in the Rochester Market Report. We must have some new data.
It's your favorite thing, I know. So
statistics.
When I get it, I always think Andy's going to be excited.
So what's going on in the Rochester real estate market?
Okay, so let's take a look. Currently, there are 244 sales pending in the market overall, leaving us 370 listings still for sale. So that those numbers result in 39.7% pending ratio. All right. So what does that really mean? You might be asking yourself.
I am.
Of course you are. So that pending ratio indicates the supply and demand in the market. So specifically, if we have a high ratio, that means that the listings are in demand and quickly going under contract. Okay, but alternatively, if we have a low ratio, that means we do not have enough qualified buyers for the existing supply. So I would say 39% is saying, like I've been telling you, it's pretty
50-50 is
50-50 would be
a balanced market.
Right. So I would say it's a mildly active market. So things aren't on fire, right? But things are still selling. Okay,
so being at 40%, does that lean towards the seller's market or the buyer's market?
It's leaning toward the buyers, So what I would tell people is that, everybody who gave up looking back in spring because they got sick and tired of losing out in multiple offers, it might be time to revisit getting out there and shopping because, with a little bit higher inventory, it's not quite as crazy, even though things are still selling, and I think still selling at I read 101.2% of the asking price. So still,
okay,
it's not like we're in a market where sellers are, all of a sudden having to cut their losses and, take a lower price or something like that. It's just that because there are more on the market, it just keeps things calm.
And maybe you might have to wait a little while longer to get the offer you want.
You're right. And just to get it sold. You're so smart. You're jumping ahead without even looking. I love it.
The gist of all this.
Yeah. So basically, I think if we do jump ahead somewhere to talk about the average days on market, it says... Okay, so we have that chart over there that you can see, Andy. Obviously, the rest of you out there can't see it, so you just have to trust us. But we have this fancy little chart. And by the way, I'll say anybody who wants to receive this market report, it's an email. So just contact me, and we put these stats together once a month, and we're happy to email it out to you. So right now, the properties that are currently on the market have been on the market for a median time of 50 days. Okay, and I don't want you to think that if you put your house on the market, that means it's going to sit there for 50 days, because there are some houses that have been sitting a long time.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes that doesn't even mean it's because they're a tough sale. Sometimes new construction will go on the market if it's like a model home, and as soon as they dig the hole, they'll list the house.
Oh, is that right?
And because they want people to know about it in case somebody finds it and wants to pick their own paint colors, their own countertops, their own flooring. So then what happens is clearly they can't close on that house for several days. It's going to take 6 or 8 or 9 or 10 months to build it, depending on the size of the house. So those days on market can be pretty, you know what I mean? It can affect the rest of the days on the market.
And I imagine that there are some more spendy properties that are kind of specialized.
Are you cheating or are you just really this good?
Well, we talked about some really nice properties last time.
Yeah, well, you're right. And if you look at the page, the next page, Andy, it'll show you like which price range are still selling really fast. Okay, so I can talk to you about the fact that we have currently overall in our market, our absorption rate is, I think, 3.1 months, meaning if no more houses came on the market, 1.7 months.
Well, that's really short.
Yeah. If no more houses came on the market.
Right.
But we have houses coming on the market every day. So bottom line is that would make a person think, okay, it's going to sell really fast. But now flip over to this other page where it'll tell you if your house is $100,000, we have 0.2 months worth of inventory. So in other words, we have nothing.
They're
right?
sold before they're even
We
on the
have
market.
nothing, right. And as it goes up, 200%, we have 0.8 months. 300,000, excuse me. We have 1 month's worth. 400,000, we have 2.5 months worth. Okay, do you get it? 500,000, we have 4.2 months worth of inventory. 800,000, we have 8.5 months worth of inventory. 800,000 seems to be a tough price. 800,000 right now, we have 18 months worth of inventory.
Well, I imagine that the folks who could actually qualify for a mortgage are, you're not talking about a large number of people here that
Right.
you have in your market.
Well, that, and then a lot of times when you get into that high end, people are building what they want
sure.
instead of buying somebody else's. But it's funny because we're going, by the 100,000s. And if you're looking at 700,000, we have 7.7 months worth of inventory. So in other words, if not one more house came on the market for 700,000, they'd all be sold in the next
They'd
7
dry
months. In the next 7 months, okay? But if you bump it up to 800,000, we've got 18 months worth. So
that is weird.
Well, we have a few more houses on the market in that price range. We have 9, okay? And it's taking a little longer to sell those. So that's how that all works out. And then when you get up to 1 million, 1,100,000, 1,200,000, 1,300,000, 1,400,000, we have 12 months worth of inventory in the high-end market. So if anybody has a house for $1 million that they want to put on the market, they might expect it to take a little bit longer to sell, which actually means make sure if you're going to do that, you get somebody who is a pro at selling high-end real estate and knows how to spend the extra money marketing it, and whether it is, virtually staging, physically staging, making sure you have the professional photos and the independent website and all the different things we can do to sell those high-end listings, because that's a market where you're not just going to stick the sign in and the house is going to sell because there's such a high demand for it. You actually have to have somebody that is an expert marketer. So, and I don't know if I've mentioned to you before, but I am certified in the luxury home market.
I kind of gathered that too from the website.
So that is something that I can definitely do for you. So if there's somebody out there that's listening that has I don't want to discourage anybody from wanting to put those high-end high-end listings on the market. I'm struggling this morning. But I just want you to know that if you do have a high-end listing that you want to market, be really selective in how you go about marketing it and who you choose to market with.
Because isn't it the same truth that you just have to match the right buyer to
Correct.
the right product?
Right. And when you work with a team like the Gwaltney Group that has so many qualified agents that work with so many buyers, we start with a pool of buyers the minute we list your house, because we all have buyers, right? So we all talk about who has a buyer for this listing. So it's kind of a little jump start.
And plus you also have
Advantage.
the folks lined up who have the expertise in all
Yes,
of
we
the
do.
tools that you're talking about, the photography and the staging and all of that.
We're not afraid to spend money to help get your house sold. And I feel like that's where some agents do lack, is they don't want to invest anything into the marketing. And, I think that's just a poor way to look at it. Poor approach.
Now, these numbers, the days on market and the inventory, what was the term we used? It's not...
The absorption rate?
Absorption rate.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so far. I have to get my glossary out for some of this. But is there any number in there that gives you an indication of... I guess what I'm trying to say is there a normal number that you would look for?
Well, I will say that the days on market is definitely high right now. So if we look over the past 6 months, I think our average days on market was 15 or 18.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's quick. I mean, it's been busy, right? All spring and summer, it's been busy. And now it's like people see the average days on market is 50 and they're like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me forever to sell my house. But the truth is 50 days isn't really forever. It's going to take you that long to pack, So the bottom line is it's just getting back to more normal.
Okay, that's right.
And so I feel like when I say to people, if we can get your house sold in 30 to 60 days, I feel like that's a really healthy time frame for the whole logistics of moving, right? Because sometimes when it's like, oh, by the way, we're going to put the house on the market Friday, and just be prepared. By Saturday, we're going to have an offer, and they're going to probably want to be in here in 30 days. So start packing.
That makes my head spin.
Yeah, it is. It's a little crazy. So it's actually, people are like, oh my gosh, the market's slowing down. It's so crazy. I'm like, no. The market isn't slowing down. The fact that we're seeing a little higher days on market, that's usually represents different indicators. One might be that the interest rates have skyrocketed. Well, we know that's not the case, just the opposite, right? One might be that the economy is scary. Well, there's been some ups and downs with the market, so people might be...
And the news hasn't been all that great.
Yeah, right. And so bottom line is there might be some people who are hesitant to upgrade or to buy a vacation home or, second home and use it as a rental. But I really haven't experienced that. I still believe that most people understand that the economy is pretty darn good. Okay, so I think...
Especially locally.
Right, exactly. And that's really all I specialize in and look at, is our Southeast Minnesota market. And I know it's different other places in the country, but I'm busy enough staying an expert on ours, right? So I don't have a whole lot of interest in what's going on elsewhere to a certain degree.
So I imagine as well that those folks that might put themselves on the sideline because of external pressures, let's say the news or the market conditions, that creates a pent-up demand down the road as well.
It could. I think right now what we're honestly feeling is just seasonal. And you might be like, what? It's not even winter yet. But there's always certain times of the year, and like right now, people have kind of, the last month, like August, people were getting in those family vacations before school starts, right? So there was a lot of traveling, and now it's like, okay, let's get everybody back into the routines, get the kids set up in their dorms in college, and get the
sports teams
and the little ones back into practice, and get back into a fall routine. So I honestly believe that, we might have had like a little bit of a lull for a couple of weeks, and I feel like we're going to have a super strong fall all the way into winter. So what I tell my team members is this is not time to coast for the rest of the year. There's a lot of people out there that want to sell their houses even before the snow flies, okay? So I see there's going to be a lot of business still to be done in the next few months. These
numbers you've been relating, to me, historically, they still seem really reasonable or even
awesome.
Low. Yeah.
They're awesome.
All right.
Yes. So when people say to me, and it's funny because I don't know if it's just Rochester's a small town or, TV commercials, but I'll be anywhere, Target or out to eat, and a complete stranger will come up to me and say, how's the real estate market? And I think that's pretty nice. I take that as a compliment. But I also like to know how the real estate market is. And I can't stress enough to the members on my team that this is your homework. Study these numbers and be the expert. Know what the market is, because people rely on us and come to us as their expert opinion, right? As their expert advisor. And so I think it's really important that we know these numbers, understand these numbers, and are able to relay them.
All right. Robin Gwaltney's here. Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results will continue in just a moment on News Talk 1340, KROC-AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC-AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC-AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Andy Brownell with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. On a Saturday morning, we've gone through some pretty fascinating market stats. I'm a statistics geek, I guess, but it's always neat to get a snapshot of what's happening, and you have real local data, so it's fascinating.
Well, you know what? That is a great segue to what I want to tell you about next.
Okay, you had hinted you have a kind of a new service available.
We do. So we have this product that we have purchased and make available for all of our clients, and it's called HomeBot, HomeBot, one word.
Something to do with computers, I imagine.
Exactly. So let's say you just bought a house from me. I would automatically enroll you in this program. So each month you're going to get this email with a monthly update, kind of the same as this market value, but specific to your house.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. So it's going to tell you Andy, your current market value is, and it's going to tell you what it is, okay? And it's sort of like Zestimate, where it's not going to be exactly, but then it'll say, if you want more details, let Robin know, and then I can do a more exact market analysis. But it's a very, pretty good rough estimate, right?
Okay, rough estimate.
Yep. And then that's like one small piece of it. And the reason that a lot of consumers are interested in that piece is because if people purchased a house and they were required to buy mortgage insurance, once they have enough equity in the house, they can drop that mortgage insurance. So they kind of watch it to say, okay, because I'd like to get rid of that extra 150 or 250 or whatever that mortgage insurance payment is.
Days.
Yeah, so that's one reason. Then there's this really cool feature on there, and a lot of people are giving me feedback about this. Like, if I paid an extra, and you can type in the number you want, $50 per month, and then it'll calculate and tell you that I will save $11,000 in interest over the course of my loan, or something like that.
That is really cool.
Isn't that cool? And I think when people see those real numbers, they're really motivated to do it. And it's so easy because, we spend a lot of money on, we've talked about this. People spend $4 on a cup of coffee and think nothing of it, right? But it's like, make your coffee at home, fill your thermos, and pay more on your house payment. So I feel like there are things that people could do to save themselves a lot of money in the long run and be really excited about it. Also, people will call me and say, how do I know when it's time to refinance? Well, this will say, if you refinanced now and you got a rate of, and you can put in the rate because you've maybe talked to somebody, what the rates are, or you've seen it advertised. If you do a 15-year or you do a 20-year, and then you can put that in and it'll tell you how much money you're going to save in interest or how much faster you're going to pay off it's got a lot of really cool tools in it.
And that just comes in your email box.
It just comes in your email box. And this is a cool feature. If you wanted to rent your house out. Now, let's say you're ready to buy another house, but maybe you want to keep the one you have. It's paid for. You've owned it a long time. What could I get for rent? Well, there is actually a feature on this HomeBot that'll tell you what the going rate for monthly rent would be for your house, as well as if you wanted to Airbnb it.
Oh, really?
So it's really, really cool. People are loving it. So, like I said in the beginning, I've been using it just for my clients, and I've been adding on like past clients who have bought houses from me. I've just been going into my database and, well, I shouldn't say I have, but I have people who have been. I'd be lying if I told you I have been. But I have, how many times have you heard me say the best support staff in all of Rochester? So they've been... currently, they'll do it when there's a new purchase, but then they've been going backward and putting all of our database onto it. So if all of a sudden you bought a house from me 10 years ago and you get an email saying, hey, your house is worth, it's because, we feel like this is a valuable tool and you're really going to like it and want to use it.
So if you have this home and it gives you the value and the rental values, is there any other features in there we haven't covered? I mean, the calculators are
I think
over the top.
Yeah, it's really cool. And this is the deal. If you want to get involved, all you have to do is go to my Facebook page, the Gwaltney Group Facebook page, and there's a link on there where you can sign up for HomeBot. So we're just going to let anybody, even if you never bought your house from me, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to provide this service for you, and at no cost. And there's no catch. It's not like, then eventually I'm going to get charged, so much per month. It's absolutely free to you as a consumer. And you can opt out if you look at it for a few months and you get the things you want. You're like, okay, I don't want this doggone email coming every month, and just opt out. But most people love it.
Well, I imagine so.
Yeah, it's really cool. Technology is amazing.
People do what's the other service? It starts with the Z. See, Zillow.
The Zestimate.
Just for fun, some people do. And this is going to be a lot handier than that.
Yeah, and it's going to be all like I said, a much more accurate data, and it's going to be really, it's really cool. I think it's awesome. So I feel like if you sign up for it, you're going to be pretty pleasantly surprised. And a lot of people have been calling me saying, oh my God, Robin, thank you so much for giving me this service. I just started paying extra $50 a month on my payment, or I've this. So I feel like it's a tool that's helping people. And above all else, that is my ultimate goal, is to really help people. And I think education is key.
Well, I'll tell you what, as soon as we're done with the show, I'm going to go sign up.
Yay. You'll love it.
All right, Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results with us this morning. We'll continue in just a moment on News Talk 1340, KROC-AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC-AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC-AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Andy Brownell here again with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. And Robin, thanks so much for bringing in the market report. Of course, I signed up a long time ago.
I know. Now when you get it, it's like old news.
It's old news. Already reviewed it, but there's some really valuable information in this report, and I imagine that it's not just people who are thinking of home buying or selling that are tapping into this information. It might be somebody who owns a small business or is somebody thinking about moving to this town.
Correct. And you know what? All joking aside, I really do love how much you've learned about real estate in the short time that we've been doing this show together. I feel like you've been really interested in it, and you've been really attentive, and I'm like, God, he really gets it. I love it.
I keep trying to talk some of my friends into going together to buy some investment property now that we've talked about that.
You definitely should do it. You should do it.
And so if somebody wants the market report delivered to their email like I've signed up for, how do they do that?
Yeah, just reach out to me, at gwaltneygroup.com or call me on my cell phone, 507-259-4926. Even just text me on my cell phone and give me an email address, and I'm happy to add anybody to our email list and send this out on a regular basis once a month, just giving you a snapshot of the Rochester real estate market.
There's a figure in here we didn't even talk about that is kind of eye-opening. When I flip to the last page, in the last 6 months, over 1,300 homes in this community have been sold and closed.
Yeah, 1,302, I think. Correct?
That's quite a few homes.
It's a lot. That's what I say.
It's a lot more than I would have
Our market
thought.
is very good. It's a very good real estate market.
And I also I haven't got signed up for this yet. I'll wrap up this show in a few minutes. I will sign up. It's called the HomeBot, right? Mm-hmm. All this personally tailored information.
Correct.
I'm just amazed that is available as easy as signing up for an email.
And that's all you got to do. Just go on to the Gwaltney Group Facebook page. Like us if you haven't done that already. But go on to the Facebook page, and there will be a link there that says HomeBot, and it'll clearly say, with this link, you will get monthly reports regarding the value of your home, et cetera, et cetera.
It's all out there. This outfit that you hired puts it all together.
Correct. And now we will make it available for not only our customers, but anybody who wants it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. We've covered all the real estate business we want to today, but you have always made a hallmark of your business community involvement. And I know you've signed up to take on something fun coming up in just a couple weeks. We briefly talked about it last time. We
are going to be one of the major sponsors for the Downtown Alliance Fall Festival. And I can't tell you, I know I say it every time, but I'm just so proud of those people down at the Downtown Alliance, what they're doing with Downtown Rochester and all these fun outings and get-togethers and activities. It's just awesome. But this Fall Festival, it's really geared toward families, people of all ages. There's stuff down there for kids. There's a petting zoo. There's a little kids concert. There's going to be a few food vendors, pumpkin patch. There's going to be some face painting, bounce house. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff.
You know what it is? You moved the pumpkin patch, the traditional pumpkin patch, in town.
Correct.
To the downtown.
Yes, that's correct. So it should be a fun event. And then it is Saturday, October 5th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. And then they do already have a rain date scheduled, and that is the following day, Sunday, October 6th.
I think we're in for some really nice dry weather.
I think we're due.
Crying out loud.
I think we're due. Exactly.
It has been more than a little rainy the last few days. Okay, so if somebody wants to talk to you or a member of your team about buying or selling a home or just getting information about the things we've talked about today, the HomeBot and everything, how do they get a hold of you?
Again, I always have my cell phone with me. You know that. My cell phone number is 507-259-4926. And we have a website, which is gwaltneygroup.com.
And if you want examples of the beautiful photography you have, just go to that website.
Yeah, thanks.
I enjoy just looking at the photos.
Oh, thank you.
And,
Well, next week, I hope to have another one of the team members come on the air and make an introduction.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I look
I'm not
forward
sure
to that.
who, but
Okay. So the surprise coming next week with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Result, and a reminder that this program and all of our past programs are available in a podcast form if that's the way you wish to get your media. All you have to do is go to KROCnews.com, go to the trending bar, click on local podcasts, Rochester real estate programs, and they're all available for download or listening right there on the spot. So listen at your convenience. But, of course, tune in next Saturday as well for more of this, possibly a member of the team. Robin, thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.
thank you. My pleasure.
All right. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results on News Type 1340, KROC-AM, and 96.9 FM.